Canada, and I'm currently the youngest member on a CERN team that's working to renovate the LHC. And when I'm not busy decoding the secrets of the universe, I'm usually debating contemporary scientific literature. I'm just kidding. The only thing that I am right now is a really ambitious high school student. And everything that I've just described is all that I aspire to be. I'm currently in my senior year at high school, and this fall, I will be applying for my undergraduate. Standing at this juncture in my life, I ask myself 3 questions. 1, what do I want to do? 2, how am I going to get there? And 3, where am I going with this career? The answers were 1, become a theoretical physicist. 2, a PhD should get me there. 3, I have no idea where I'm going with this. And just like me, there's so many students who are now picking their majors and their courses. And when most women contemplate a major in STEM, something they're bound to consider is what this would look like, say 10 or 15 years down the line. And too often, what they picture is a job that pays unfairly, workplaces where they don't feel like they belong, an effort that goes unrecognized. So it simply isn't worth it pursuing this career. We're slowly regressing towards this culture that strengthens traditional gender roles and stereotypes and social constructs which took centuries to reform. This overgeneralization is so pervasive in our social matrix that we see it without even realizing it. And if you think I'm talking about another time, perhaps another century, you're wrong. And I'll ask you to think again. Think Big Bang Theory. Meet the original cast. That is Dr. Raj Kukrakoli, an astrophysicist. That is Howard Wolowitz. He's an aerospace engineer. That is Dr. Leonard Hofstadter. He is an experimental physicist. And to my extreme left is Dr. Sheldon Cooper, a theoretical physicist. And now, meet Penny, the waitress at the Cheesecake Factory. Still too old for you? Turns out HBO has been keeping up with the times. Meet the entire cast of the Silicon Valley. And this isn't true for the tech sector alone. In fields like physics, women make contributions that are so significant. Almost always, they have been under-recognized. Only 3 women have been awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 117 years, ladies and gentlemen. And if I asked you to name a woman who's won a Nobel Prize in the sciences, how many of you would say Marie Curie? Just a quick show of hands. And if I asked you to name another one, how many of you would not be able to? Exactly. And the issue here isn't that there aren't enough women making significant contributions to science. There really are. And I will substantiate myself on this. But the issue that lies here is the fact that they've been conveniently written off scientific history, that their names appear in no textbooks. Ever study the structure of DNA at school? I bet you've been told Watson and Crick came up with it. Even the Norwegian Nobel Prize Committee thought so. That's why they gave them the Nobel Prize. But turns out, there was a woman named Rosalind Franklin who first came up with the structure. The woman who first photographed photo 51, an image that showed DNA had 2 strands, not 1. Which was what the Nobel Prize was awarded for. But it wasn't awarded to her. She died 4 years before the Nobel Prize was awarded. So the committee went, oh well, if she was alive, we would have probably given it to her. To which I would say, excuses, excuses, and excuses. And even if we let that slide, what about Lisa Meitner? The woman who didn't just explain nuclear fission, but coined the term itself. The woman who didn't just fight gender discrimination, but fought the unjust Nazi laws that prevented her from getting this education in the first place, only to have her male counterparts receive the Nobel Prize for a discovery that she significantly contributed to. And the issue isn't just under-recognition in STEM. It's also the sheer number of women we have in STEM. And a good argument is made that this is because of the pipeline issue. The fact that fewer females take up STEM in college and university. So in an applicant pool for STEM jobs, you have fewer qualified females and you have more qualified males. So ultimately, you have fewer females who are given the job. The thing is, what lies at the heart of this issue is the fact that fewer women see themselves succeeding in this field. Fewer women see themselves climbing up the corporate ladder at STEM. So fewer women take it up. But here's the thing. The solution starts with us. The solution starts with us choosing to battle for our rightful position in the system instead of backing out of the fight and resignation. We become the trailblazers. As educators, it starts with us to tell students to pursue their passion unhindered by externalities. And as people, it starts with us to carefully choose what we consume and what we condone. And to all the students out there who are now picking their majors and their courses, I want to leave you with this. The idea, the notion that somehow taking the road less traveled by makes all the difference is a bunch of nonsense. But do remember that if the path you choose to walk down is seldom frequented, then have the courage to take the road not taken. Thank you.